Hello, school crafters. For those who have not met me, my name is Adrienne Eichman, and I am the director at Schoolcraft. And I am making this video today to kind of talk through our reopening plan and some highlights and changes that are happening next week and the following week when we have everybody back on campus. I will also be sending out a letter to you that has all of these details written out for you to see. But there are quite a few changes, and so I wanted to make sure to have this opportunity to connect with you and make sure that we are all on the same page before students come back. So let's dive in. So just keep in mind that our full plan and all of our policies can be found on our website. And if you have any questions after reviewing those plans, feel free to reach out to me at my email address, adrienne@schoolcraft.org, or by calling the school, and I'm happy to answer any questions. There's a lot here, and so don't feel weird if you have questions that you need answered. I'm happy to walk through this with you. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit about some changes that are happening. Most noticeably, our instructional delivery model is going to change. And because of that, our attendance policy is going to change. There's going to be a class schedule for distance learners that is a little bit different for each grade level. And a few reminders on our day-to-day procedures for the students that are coming back on site. We're incredibly excited to have our students back. However, it's important to keep in mind that the pandemic is still happening and there are still health and safety guidelines that we have to follow. So even though we're all excited to be back together, it's important for students to know that Schoolcraft is still going to look a little bit different than how it looked before the pandemic. So first up is our on-site masking and face covering policy. So all staff and students have to wear a face mask anytime that they're inside a building at Schoolcraft. Unless they are actively eating or drinking. And we have shortened our breakfast and our lunch times to really try to kind of get in and get out, which is very different from our normal philosophy. Usually at Schoolcraft, we really like our long, relaxing, chatty lunches, and that will not be happening this year because we really want to minimize the amount of time that kiddos are going without a mask. When students are outside, they can take their face mask off as long as they are more than 3 feet away from anybody else. So an example of that is at recess, if they're kind of running around, they can have their mask off. But if they're in forest school and they are gathered up around the campfire getting instructions, or they're working in partners to do a research project, if they're within 3 feet of another person, they need to have their mask on. Our masking policy is online. It's policy 808 for face covering and masks. We also have face shields available for both staff and students, and they are not required, but they are highly encouraged. If your student would like to wear one, let us know and we can get one for them. So the big change is that our instructional model is changing. This was due to a lot of reasons, but mostly just because this spring, the majority of our students are going to be learning on site. And so we have decided to move away from our pre-recorded instructional videos. So the students on site will be using live instructions similar to our pre-pandemic teaching. Students learning from home will also be receiving live instruction, but it's going to happen a little bit different depending on their age and their grade. So in K1, the distance learners will have class with their regular crew teacher in the afternoon. In second and third grade, the distance learners will actually have their own distance learning class that will meet for most of the morning, every morning, Monday through Friday. And that's where they'll be getting reading and math and expedition. And then in 4th through 8th grade, we are going to move to synchronous instruction, which means we'll be asking those students learning at home to log in to their classes and learn alongside the on-site students, just as if they were here, except for that they will be on a computer at home. I do have the class schedules written in an email that I'm going to be sending out in just a moment, and it's also in this presentation and a few more slides. The meetings for grades 4 through 8 are staying on the same schedule as they have been on all along, so that won't be much change. The biggest change for those students will be the attendance policy. which is what I'm going to talk about now. So it has been our experience that the students who are attending class are doing much better than the students who are not. There are exceptions to that, but in general, that's been our experience. So for that reason, we have rewritten our attendance policy for distance learners to include a requirement for a face-to-face interaction with their teacher each day in order to be counted present. In grades K through 5, students can attend crew or they can attend a live class to be counted present. Clearly, we want them to attend both of those things, but if they attend one or the other, they will be counted present for the day. In grades 6 through 8, attendance is going to be taken in every class. And so we really want to make sure that they are coming to each of their classes and staying for each of their classes. Additionally, the student needs to stay in class until the teacher dismisses them in order for it to count. If they are just logging in for a second until attendance is taken and then logging back out, that will not count for attendance. They really need to be there for the whole class. So these are extraordinary times, and we know that families are faced with a lot of challenges right now. And so if you're feeling like attending live classes is just not going to work for your student because of your work schedule or something that they have going on at home, please contact your crew teacher and work through that with them a little bit, kind of tell them what's up and see if we can figure something out. And then if you can find a plan that's going to work, that can get forwarded to me, and then I will kind of make the decision on whether or not that's going to work, if it's a sustainable plan, and how we're going to move forward from that. So we would really like to partner with you and work together, but we are trying to emphasize that the students be in school during the day. So for on-site learners, it is safest for PE to be taking place outside. That has always been a tradition at Schoolcraft. However, something that we really want to stress as we return is that we are really going to be doing PE and forest school, of course, outside every time it is safe to do so. So for us, that means until it's colder than 10 below, students will be outside. So it's really imperative that the students come prepared for that with the proper outdoor gear so that they can be outside and enjoy it. We have a lot of gear here that students can borrow. And so there really is no reason for a kiddo to not have what they need, because they can always get it from us. So if a student is refusing to change or doesn't want to put on their boots or their snow pants, we may call home and kind of enlist some assistance from folks at home to make sure your kiddos are getting out for PE and forest school. All right, so here are our class schedules. This is for the distance students. So in K and 1, again, they are going to be meeting with their teachers in the afternoons. So they will attend crew at 9 with their class. In first grade, Anna Mae will have some additional independent assignments in Seesaw. And then in the afternoons, you will have a meeting with either Anna Mae or Maggie. In second and third grade, the distance students will be in a live class with their distance learning teacher every day. So they will log in and do crew with their regular teachers, Sarah, Johnny, or Leah, and then they will go into a different virtual classroom and have Daily 5 and Expedition all together, and then second grade math, and then third grade math. Their specialist classes will still be in Seesaw with the pre-recorded instructional videos, as has been the case so far. In 4-5s, they will log in for synchronous instruction at the meetings that they have been attending so far. So crew at 9:15, math at 9:45, and then Expedition ELA at 1:20. On Fridays, they will just log in for crew in the morning and then math. And on Wednesday and Thursday, Kendra and Chris will set up meetings with the students to meet with them individually and make sure that they're touching base and staying caught up. And the specialists will also be in Google Classroom for the distance-only students. In 6-8s, their class schedule, again, is staying the same. They'll have crew at 9, and then 9:30 is their first period, 12:30 is second period, and 1:40 is third period. And their specialist classes will be in Google Classroom. On Fridays is distance day for all of the middle school students. They will have crew at 9 a.m. and then there will be some additional assignments posted on Fridays. And Friday is also a day where the middle school teachers may be meeting with the distance only students kind of on an as needed basis to make sure that we're all on the same page and staying caught up. So those are the big changes that are coming. If you have questions, again, our full plans and policies can be found on the website on the COVID-19 page. Otherwise, you can always contact me, Adrienne at schoolcraft.org, or by calling the school, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. We are super pumped to have kiddos back in the building, and are really excited to kind of step into this next part of our journey together this year, and are hoping to be able to meet you all where you're at and move forward together. Thanks very much for listening today. Be kind, be brave, and be safe.